What's up, guys? This is David B. Smith, John Caroni's uncle. He is VP of Strategic Alliances for the Bear Jolly Group, and he's just been crapping on Safemoon, and specifically he's been crapping on Operation Pheonix. And he did that by sharing this video from Harry Potter where it has a phoenix that just dies and turns into ashes. Now, if you watch the scene in the actual movie, a little bird comes out, a little, phoenix comes out of it, but his intent here is clearly a negative one to say that Operation Pheonix is dead. Now, if we look at what is Operation Pheonix.
Operation Pheonix is a combination of multiple innovations combined into a single Safemoon ecosystem. Operation Pheonix is, again, more than a single project. It is the application and integration of innovative technologies to increase greater efficiency through the proper and correct use of decentralization into macro IoT infrastructure.
So it seems that basically Operation Pheonix is just using decentralization and new technology to try to improve efficiency and the life of different communities in different parts of the world. Their main focus was in the Gambia. The main things that we saw were the freedom of the unbanked, and Safemoon was working with windmills to make them produce more energy over a longer period of time, and we were all going to be able to mint a wind turbine, and I think we just expected that these were going to be being used in the Gambia to help their energy cost. Now, if we fly on over to Dark Moon Tim's video on the IoT and global mesh networks, we have a quote from John Caroni at the AIBC Summit saying, when you're able to tie together things like telecommunications, renewable energy, even all the way to how agriculture items are tracked and moved around, what you see is a greater level of transparency, efficiency, and freedom that can grow or flow within a country, within a community, within a society. The idea of Operation Pheonix in itself is not a bad one. It's to use decentralization and new technology to help improve the efficiency and lives of a community. And if we look at what John said about his trip to the Gambia, he said Safemoon's work in Africa and other undeserved regions of the world continues to be one of our highest priorities on our impact agenda. We continue to pursue our Gambia endeavors directly through our own networks. This presents the most efficient and effective way to make a maximum impact for the people and the quality of life in that region. While the Gambia will always hold a high place in my heart and priorities, the recent trip illuminated myriad other opportunities in other parts of Africa and the world, including the United States. Now, how would a trip to Africa illuminate the opportunities in other parts of the world? He says, for example, the blockchain and DeFi ecosystem we're creating makes economic freedom and infrastructure to everyone within its reach. It provides not just a means of value exchange and commerce. The recent trip vastly expanded our ideas for using our company's resources to achieve a return on impact. So we have Darren Robinson, who plays the guitar for a band called Phantom Planet. They have a song called California that was used for the show called The OC. There's Darren right there. Like I said, it has 21 million views, so it's pretty cool to have him as part of the Safemoon army. And he's a pretty cool guy that likes to speak his mind within the space.
Though some of you have now labeled me as a fudder, I promise you I'm not. My intention here is not to shit talk Safemoon in the least. It's not even to shit talk John. I like John. I think John is a good CEO, and I think that he has a bright future, and I think Safemoon still is going to do well in years to come, maybe sooner than that. So these tweets that David Smith, John's uncle, who used to work with Safemoon, I don't think personally they are just him being salty and that's the end of it. I think there's a little more to it than just that.
I don't think David Smith is a bad person. I don't think that he's a jerk. I don't think he's the disgruntled uncle. That's not what I personally think. I think that it seems like with some of the tweets that he's put out, let's specifically talk about the Phoenix going to ashes and not rising up again. Potentially, Operation Pheonix is not going to happen, or it's delayed, or something along those lines. That's how I personally read it. I'm not saying I'm right. It's just how I personally read it. So I think there's more going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of, and I don't think that it's going to be bad overall for Safemoon. The other thing is that David Smith works at the Bara Jolly Group, right? That's in the Gambia, and John's mom is the one who owns the Bara Jolly Group. So with that being said, that gives David even more weight. It's not just his uncle here, but this is on behalf of his mom. And if it's not, then I would assume that John's mom would fire David over this. And I don't think that's going to happen. So there's a lot of weight to it. You can call this FUD, you can call it whatever you want, but you guys, literally, I'm just talking about a tweet that his own family member posted. You know, it's been a bumpy road, right? We can all agree to that. It's been a very bumpy road. I think it's going to be bumpy for a while. I think that's going to continue. That does not mean that I'm selling. That does not mean that I don't believe in Safemoon. That does not mean that I think John is bad or should step down or anything like that. I still think John is a good leader. I still think he will prevail. I think eventually the blockchain and the exchange and all that stuff is going to come out. I don't know when, but I think it is going to happen.
So a small portion of the Safemoon army have proven that they are not able to rationally consider information if it has any kind of negative possibilities to it. So that's why they couldn't see that Papa was quitting, or that Hank was quitting, or that Ryan was quitting. And they're just not a trustworthy source of information, because they're only going to assume the best scenario for Safemoon and the worst scenario for anything that opposes Safemoon. And it's like, hey, I don't hate you guys for it. I just can't trust your logic and your reasoning. It's not that I can't trust it to look at it positively, but I just can't trust it to look at it negatively. So I appreciate the speculation in the positive way, but they just don't provide a realistic negative speculation on information. So with that being said, Operation Pheonix can't die. It's literally anything they do. They could literally say, hey, we're creating a new brand of Safemoon bubbles that we're giving out to kids in the Gambia, and they're gonna blow those bubbles out. So in my perspective, the only thing that John's uncle could be referring to, and this is speculation, but it would be that when John and the team went and met with the Gambian governments and came to maybe some kind of deals, that maybe whatever their agreement with them is off, because John said in his captain's log that we continue to pursue Gambia endeavors directly through our own networks. So it made it sound like there might have been possibly other networks within the Gambian government, or other deals that they'd had that maybe have fallen through. Maybe that's due to CoffeeZilla's videos, or maybe it just there's some kind of disagreement that happened between the Barrow Holly group and Safemoon. Darren makes some good points that you think that John's mom would tell her brother to shut up and quit talking trash about her son's project. So there's just something there worth looking at, and you can speculate both positively and negative as an investor who wants to know what's actually going on with Safemoon. If you're an investor that only wants to believe everything's positive, that's fine, but my channel's just not going to be that, and you probably just want to unsubscribe. Another thing is, with Operation Pheonix, we know we have the freedom of the unbanked. We know that we have using technology to advance, basically people's lives in areas where they're not doing as well. I know that I heard somewhere that John's goal is to help 1 billion people is what he wants to do. And I think the important thing here as an investor is that people got into Safemoon to make money. And if we're helping people, some people will be happy about that, but many people are gonna be like, I don't care about helping people. That's not why I didn't get into a charity. I got in here to make money. You need to be taking our money and using it to make money. Now, they could make money off of that, but I think it might be more likely to see with the exchange and the blockchain. And I agree with Darren. I think that these things will come out. I think that we will see the exchange and we will see the blockchain at some point, and we'll get to see how big of an impact that'll have on the price and the future of Safemoon. If you're one of the people that hasn't unsubscribed because I don't only say positive things, do me a favor, hit the like button, drop me a comment. I'll respond to you if you have a question. I try to respond to everybody. And if you're new, drop me a sub. I appreciate that, only if you feel like it. Really appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.